everyone, welcome back to my channel. My daily peach green tea lemonade. My only regret is that I didn't get two. I usually get a venti and then I also order like a grande to go with it so I can stick it in the fridge and drink it later, and I didn't, and I feel regret for that now. Hi, how are you? Are you good? You're good? You are? That's good. Y'all know my absolute hate for the app TikTok. I hate it. I despise it. They permanently banned me for going against community guidelines when I literally didn't go against any guidelines whatsoever. It was really only because I made a TikTok video asking if they were racist. Now, if you haven't seen that, feel free to go down below and watch that video because I'm not here to talk about that today. I'm here to tell you that sometimes, even if you hate an app, there's good aspects and there's bad aspects to social media. And in this particular case, TikTok ended up being good in the sense that a viral video of two bodies found in a suitcase helped investigators solve a double homicide. This past summer of 2020, good old 2020, the vibe was new for all of us. Restaurants, movies, nightclubs, pools, playgrounds, schools, businesses, everything was shut down because of the COVID-19 pandemic. It was new for all of us. People are lonely, people are jobless, people are bored, and they're looking for shit to do. During the pandemic, TikTok had more users than probably every app ever combined. In a previous reaction video that I did for my channel, I reacted to somebody using an app called Randonautica. They went to this location that this app gave them, and in the reaction video that I watched, the person was so deeply scared at what he was witnessing, he left as fast as he came, he got in his car, and he sped off. After this one, you started it.
Take you on a journey to your demise.
Your demise.
Stephen Donovan. He explains using the Randonautica app to direct him on a random adventure.
Why would you do that? What's a Nautica app? I don't know, but it just sounds like, why would you do that?
There's a set of local coordinates supplied by a quantum random number generator. In doing so, users are encouraged to explore the unexpected.
No, we shouldn't. And then what if a serial killer was there?
Here's what happened. Randonautica sent these two on a dirt road
Maybe
through
it's to disguise his voice.
town. Creepy mannequins are standing in the windows of the empty wooden buildings.
No. This is like Wax House, bro.
Take them past empty cars parked on the shoulder. However, no one appears to be in the area.
I would not.
Oh, hell no. They were gonna kill you or some shit.
And continue up the steep, narrow road. It's getting.
That's a sign. Oh, okay. You make your money on these ads then. What are up with these ads, though?
Dark, and they are now on foot. The pin is pulled up and they are getting close to their destination. That's when they see it.
We had the pin pulled up. We were so close to it.
What
the? How to explain this?
Something rolls down the hill from a broken structure, and in that structure they see what looks like a melted face. They take this as their cue to leave. TikToker Rachel Chun surmises, watch those cars be the ones left behind by the randonauts that never
I can't take this dude
Steven
seriously.
notes that he deleted the app after this misadventure. After this, can you...
Before reacting to that reaction video, I have never in my life heard of this app. A few people commented and was like, download it and do it. But honestly, watching that video, and there was parked cars, empty cars just on the side of the road where this app took them, and people were saying that the empty cars were people that also got brought to that location and were never seen again. So just hearing that, I thought maybe it was bullshit. But then this story all begins with this app called Randonautica. Their slogan is wander into wonder. So basically this app is all about finding adventure in something random. You log onto this app, you put your intention. That kind of confused me because I don't know what they mean by that. Like, I don't know if it's like, hey, I'm searching for treasure, or hey, I want to find ghosts. I don't know what that means, but basically you log into this app, you put your intention, and then it gives you a GPS coordination. And from there, you go on this journey, this adventure of complete randomness, trying to find the GPS location that they gave you. Bored, in the middle of a pandemic, a couple of teenagers decided that they were gonna use this Randonautica app. So they log on, they get this GPS location, and they decide, hey, okay, we have nothing else to do, let's do this. So they get in their cars and they head to El-Kai Beach, which is a sandy beach along the Pacific coast on the west side of Seattle. The beach is surrounded by mom and pop little stores, and it sounded pretty good to them to spend their afternoon finding something random on a beach than sitting at home all alone thinking about COVID-19. So this app brought them to this beach to explore. It's June 19th, it's hot, it's sunny, it's summer, and these teenagers are given a random GPS location from the Randonautica app. And now their one mission of the day is to find this location. I don't know if it's the adrenaline of it all or just pure boredom, but these teenagers are excited to discover whatever is at this location. And like most teenagers and TikTok users, all of these teenagers have brought along their cell phones to record their little adventure. So this app landed them on a stretch of the shoreline, and these teenagers noticed that a large black suitcase was washed ashore and laying on the rocks. Now during their TikTok video, which has now been taken down by the way, they're laughing and they're joking around that maybe there was money in the suitcase. Maybe this Randonautica app brought us to this location because there's $1 million cash in this suitcase. The two teenage girls take sticks and they open the suitcase. The person who was filming, I believe his name was Ugg Henry. I don't know how to say Ugg. Is it Ugg or is it Ugg? Because it's spelled U-G-H, like Ugg boots. So I don't know. But he basically stated that the smell was so overwhelmingly bad that they almost turned away and left. But just like most human beings, curiosity got the best of them and they just had to know what was in this suitcase. Inside the suitcase was 2 tightly packed garbage bags. And the closer they got to the suitcases, the worse the smell got. This TikTok video has been removed, but in the original video, one of the girls is seen calling the police. They don't know at this point if there's a body in the bag or if it's just food that's spoiled. There was a caption on the video that said, "By this point, we were getting a little scared and nervous." And yeah, who wouldn't be scared and nervous and a little bit freaked out that this random Randonautica app brought you to a random part of a shoreline that just happened to have a random suitcase filled with what could be a body in it? I would be freaked out too, absolutely. Like, how did this app bring me to an exact GPS location where there was a body? No, but for real though, like, when you really think about it, like, how did that app know to tell someone that there was a suitcase of bodies there? Like, do you ever wonder, you guys? How did that app know that there was a suitcase there with a body in it? Because I mean, from what I'm getting is that the Randonautica app doesn't just bring people to a shoreline that has nothing on it. They bring you to locations where there's like some type of mystery or some f***ed up shit going on. So how did this app know that they were going to discover a body? Oh my god, you guys, that really freaks me out. When I say it out loud, it freaks me out. Does it freak you guys out? Their TikTok ends as they're driving off after the police have cornered off the potential crime scene. Seattle police later confirmed that the suitcase did contain dismembered body parts of a human being. They also discovered a little bit further down the shoreline another bag that contained dismembered human body parts. The human remains were later identified to be Jessica Lewis, who was 36 years old and a mother of 4, and her longtime boyfriend, Austin Wenner, who was 27. Jessica and Austin had been together for about 7 or 8 years. Both Jessica and Austin were badly beaten. Austin had a single gunshot wound, while Jessica had several gunshot wounds. And then they were both dismembered, put into bags, and tossed away into this ocean like garbage. The bodies had feathers on them, which was weird because they're on the beach. Obviously, they were not killed there, they were disposed there, tossed there. Now as this TikTok video is going viral because he used the hashtags #crime, #murder. It generated over 30 million views, and the people commenting had a couple questions, comments, and concerns. A lot of people thought that it could have been staged, and a lot of people thought that possibly these teenagers had something to do with the murder. Seattle police confirmed that neither was true. These teenagers had absolutely nothing to do with this murder outside of randomly discovering the body, and the video was 110% not staged. According to the King County Medical Examiner's Office, based on the state of composition of both bodies, they came to the determination that Jessica and Austin must have been killed on or around June 9th. Family members of Jessica and Austin confirmed that the couple had been renting a room from 62-year-old Michael Lee Dudley. Michael had a home in Burien, Washington. Jessica and Austin started renting a room in his home on December 19th. Burien is about 25 to 30 minutes away from the shoreline where the bodies were found. Friends and family members of Jessica and Austin were obviously being interviewed so the cops could try to figure out what happened. And in the process of being interviewed, they found out details about their personal life and also about their landlord, Michael Dudley. According to friends and family, Austin went by the nickname Cash or Cash Money. Most people that would hear a nickname like that, you would think, like, why is that your nickname? And if your first assumption was that's his street name, you are correct. Austin was hanging out with the wrong crowd. Now, friends and family all say that Jessica and Austin had no money and they owed a lot of people money. Jessica and Austin had been together for about 7 or 8 years. They've been together for the highs, the lows, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Now, Jessica had 4 children. I couldn't find anything online about their children. I don't know much about her relationship with her children. I don't know if they were from different dads, all the same dad. I just know they weren't Austin's children. Austin himself also had 1 child outside of his relationship with Jessica, so they both had children. I don't know if they were close with their children. I don't know their relationships with their children. There's not much online for me to research in that department, but they both had families. They also were renting a room, 1 room, in someone else's home. Me hearing that, I'm gonna go ahead and say they probably didn't have full custody of any of their children, because I can't imagine grown adults having 5 children staying in 1 bedroom with them. So I'm gonna go ahead and assume whatever their relationship was, they didn't have custody of their children. I could be wrong because I can't find anything online, but I can't imagine that your children, all 5 of them, would be staying with you and your boyfriend in 1 room of somebody else's house. Close family and friends described their interactions with Jessica and Austin before they disappeared and were murdered. They said that Jessica and Austin were both high in anxiety, stressed out, and in fear that they were unsafe or their lives could be in danger. At this point, it wasn't because of their landlord, Michael. It was because Austin got involved with a group of local Samayans, which is a gang, and we all know, but we don't really know, that gangs could be dangerous. And so anyone who gets associated or involved with gangs is living life on the edge. You're living life dangerously. Allegedly, I don't know if this is true, I don't know if it's false, but allegedly Austin got involved in this stolen credit card scheme or some COVID-19 stimulus relief check scheme. Either one of those options sounds like a scheme or a plan that no one should be getting into, but allegedly that's what happened, and he needed to pay up. He owed people some money. I don't know how any of that shit works. I know that there's a lot of scammers out here. Like, there's people that their full-time job is being a scammer. I don't know how that works. I don't know how people get rich and or don't get rich off scamming, but whatever the case may be, Austin owed people money. I guess a few of these gang members went to Michael's house looking for Austin and Jessica, and they rolled up with guns. They went into the house and beat Austin and Jessica, asking for their money. They demanded that they pay up. During this investigation, Austin's dad tells investigators that Austin didn't have a phone. Only Jessica did. So anyone that was trying to reach Austin would have to go through Jessica. Jessica and Austin have been telling their friends and family about how unsafe they feel, how their anxiety is through the roof, they have no money, they don't know what to do, they owe bad people money. They just weren't in a good place in their lives in general. Austin Austin's dad had plans to meet up with the couple, but didn't hear from them. So he keeps calling Jessica's phone, and he keeps calling Jessica's phone, and he keeps calling Jessica's phone, and he's not getting an answer. So, like any good parent, he rolled up to Michael's house, where he knew the couple was staying, looking for them. Lo and behold, he bumps into Michael, and Michael was like, oh yeah, they actually left in a hurry. They left a few of their things behind, but yeah, I don't know where they went. They sped off. I haven't seen them. They just left some of their stuff. His father's thinking maybe they did take off because Austin got himself into trouble. Maybe this is a hole they couldn't dig themselves out of. But he noticed outside of the house there was a garbage can, and inside the garbage can was some of Austin's clothes. Why was his son's clothes in the garbage can? I guess Michael could argue that he threw it in the trash because he didn't think they were coming back, but even if a couple takes off and you're a landlord, you can't just throw their stuff away. Aren't there like laws that protect people from shitty psychotic landlords like this? Like say you get into beef and the landlord wants you to move out, you're protected. Even if you don't pay your rent and you're damn near almost evicted, I think you even have 90 days to be like, you, before a sheriff comes, knocks your in, kicks your door in, and says you need to get the fuck out. So if I'm Austin's dad, I'm also gonna be like, why the fuck is my son's shit in your garbage can if they just took off? You don't know if they're coming back. Why is my son's shit in your garbage can? Now, I don't know how that interaction ended. I couldn't find much online about it. But if I'm his dad, I'm gonna be asking questions. But also if I'm his dad, and I think this dude might be a psychopath, which from the sounds of it, and what ends up being true is that he is, I probably wouldn't get too in his face because you don't know what psychopaths are capable of. But he did peep that his son's clothes were in a garbage can. Red flag. Investigators are also like, that's a little interesting. During this investigation, one of Austin's friends did say that a gang member wrote Cash's name on a bullet and left it in the mailbox of Michael's home. So right now, police believe that this could indeed be a gang hit. Their disappearance or their murder could in fact be gang related. They had no money. They owed bad people money. That's a recipe for disaster, or in this case, murder. It comes to the police's attention that 10 days before the murder was committed, neighbors had actually called the cops with a noise complaint. Now, this neighbor is now a witness, and this witness is saying that they heard yelling and gunshots coming from Michael's home. They even heard a man yell, "Please don't do this, just let me leave," before hearing more gunshots. They called police, and the police actually did come to Michael's home. They knocked on his door, and they eventually left because Michael did not answer. I mean, if you just committed murder inside your home, you wouldn't answer either. Another witness, who is a female, came forward and told police that she knew Michael through a mutual friend. And through this mutual friend, Michael actually offered her a room in his home. And she coincidentally moved in on June 9th, the day the murders allegedly were committed. She told investigators that Michael actually helped her bring her belongings into the home, and she noticed that he was a little up. His glasses were scratched, his face was scratched, and like any human being, you'd be like, like what happened to this dude? Why are you rocking scratched glasses? And I mean, I get it. When I first brought Caesar home, he chewed my old Prada glasses, and I rocked them with little bite marks in it because glasses are expensive. So, I mean, glasses will let slide, but why does this dude have what looks like fresh cuts on his face? This witness then explains to cops that she got in the shower. And when she got out of the shower, she opened the door to her new room. And in the new room, she noticed a pile of clothing. And underneath the pile of clothing, there was a hand. This is so up to me. There was a hand sticking out from underneath the pile of clothing. And underneath the pile of clothing, it also looked like, hey, there is a body underneath there. Also, there's a hand sticking out of it. Like, I'm like reading this about the case and I'm like, excuse me, what? What? I would have gotten dressed immediately, found my way out the door to the police station and reported what the fuck I just saw immediately. I also would have been petrified that I was standing in the apartment of Seattle's new Jeffrey Dahmer. I'd probably shit myself, but also be forming and calculating an escape plan because there's a hand sticking out of that pile of clothing. But nope, not this witness. Nope, she didn't do that. She got dressed, dilly-dallied, and didn't even have a conversation with Michael till later on that day. I don't know how this conversation with Michael and her went, but I can imagine that she was uncomfortable, as anyone would be, and you should be uncomfortable with yourself for staying in that situation longer than need be, but besides the point. At some point, he tells her that he needs to clean up the mess, and then asks if she can go somewhere else while he does so. She agrees. She's like, yeah, for sure. I don't want to be here anyway. I'm outie. He gives her the keys to his truck and she leaves. But as she's leaving, she sees Michael in his basement laying out large sheets of plastic. Now, you just saw a hand underneath a pile of clothes. Now you see this grown-ass 62-year-old man laying out sheets of plastic. And you're not gonna take his car that he just let you borrow straight to the police station to say, hey dude, I just moved into this dude's crib. I'm almost certain that I saw a body underneath a pile of clothes, and then when I was leaving, because he asked me to leave while he cleaned up some mess, I saw him laying out some plastic. Can you like maybe head over there, because I'm not trying to be in that plastic later. Like, I don't understand her thought process, because like, what if he was placing plastic to kill you when you got home, girl? I don't understand people's thought process. It blows my mind. But nope, she gets in his car and she takes off. I also think it's important to mention that during her conversation with Michael, he was complaining about how he had 2 tenants, and these 2 tenants brought trouble to his home. They brought criminals around, they engaged in criminal activity, and he asked them to leave and they refused to leave. And that's where I question where housing laws come in, because I don't think someone can just be like, you need to leave. That's not how the world works if you're getting money. So he was complaining to her about the previous tenants, and she inquired, you know, what happened? What exactly happened between y'all? And Michael said, let's put it this way. His gun misfired and mine didn't. If somebody said that to me, and then I witnessed him laying out plastic sheets, I'm gonna go ahead and assume there's some dead bodies in that house. And he's responsible for those dead bodies, because he basically just told me that he was asking these people to leave, they wouldn't leave. Now I'm renting the room they used to stay at. There's so many questions I have here, so I'm just gonna ask you guys and we can have a conversation in the comment section. Number 1, my first question is, did she have a cell phone? 2020, most people have cell phones except for Austin, who didn't. He used his girlfriend's phone. But did she have a cell phone? And if she did have a cell phone, why didn't she use that cell phone to call 911 to let them know, hey, I'm in this man's house right now. I see a dead body. Please come immediately. Or, hey, I'm about to leave this dude's house and I see him laying out plastic so he can get rid of bodies. And I'm using his car so he can't get away, so come and get him. 2, if you had a cell phone, why wouldn't you take a picture of what you saw? So if these cops don't believe you, you can be like, wait a second, sir, skirt, skirt. This is literally what was just in the house. Now can you please get your asses over there and do something? Number 3, like I said earlier, curiosity gets the best of human beings. So for me, I'd be calling 911 on my cell phone, but I'd also be tiptoeing my way over to the pile of clothes where I think I saw a hand sticking out of it, and I would be lifting up the clothes to see, in fact, if there was a body underneath there, because my curiosity would be killing me. And then I'd be worried that my curiosity is actually gonna kill me, because like, what if he walks in at the exact moment I'm lifting up the pile of clothes and is like, you're next, and then like kills me? So that question, I guess, is questionable. I don't know, would I look to see if it was real, or I'd just be like solid on the fact that there's just a hand sticking out of the pile of clothes? I don't know. Number 4, I'm finding the nearest weapon. I don't care what that weapon is, I'm finding one. Whether that be on the floor, in the bathroom, if I have to quickly make my own. I'm finding a weapon, and I'm finding the nearest emergency exit, and I'm getting the out of Dodge. I'm confused, because I'm just wondering how she stayed long enough to have another whole conversation with a man who's clearly unwell. Did you want to be in arm's length of a complete and utter psychopath? Did you want to be in danger? Another question I have is, why was she just now telling police information on Michael? Was it because the TikTok went viral? Is it because the bodies were identified and cops were just laying down a list of everyone that's ever stayed at Michael's house and she just happened to be on the list? If the bodies were never found, if the TikTok never went viral, would this witness come forward? Would she have told police what she is telling them now? Because I'm sorry, if I witnessed that, I'm going immediately to the police, but you're just now talking to the police right in this moment. That shit don't make no sense to me. This part of the story is literally a head scratcher, and it makes me want to ask the question, what the fuck is wrong with people? What the fuck is wrong with people? So feel free to comment below what your thoughts are, because I don't understand how the witness is just now telling police what she saw when she could have reported that 10 days ago. Jessica's aunt Gina told police that she was close to her niece before her tragic murder. She told police that Michael was a complete and utter psycho. She told police that Michael would lock them in the house so they wouldn't leave, so they were trapped there, imprisoned. She told police that sometimes he would with their car or break their car intentionally so they wouldn't leave. She also said that he would hurt animals, which is the #1 sign that someone is a psychopath, when they can hurt an animal. One time he killed a dog that was around with his chickens. Keep in mind that Michael had chickens and there was feathers found on the body. Makes a little bit more sense now. But one time there was a dog around chasing his chickens, as any dog would. Like when they see other animals, they're like, oh, what is this? Michael took a hammer and beat the dog to death, and then left the dog there for days to scare Jess and Austin. He was a psychopath. Now cops asked Gina, well, why didn't they just leave? And she said they couldn't, they had no place to go. When I'm reading all this and I'm hearing all this, I'm thinking in my head that Michael probably sought out tenants to rent his room or rooms to that were up, didn't have a lot of money, were lost in life, damaged, unwell, so he could with them for his own enjoyment. I feel like he got off on trapping others like they're in prison, controlling their lives like a real life psycho. Another female witness comes forward and talks to police. And while she's talking to them, she tells police that she would frequently go to Michael's home to use his shower or whatever, which I think is weird, but I don't know their relationship, but she would go to Michael's home to shower. And she ran into Austin and Jessica on 3 different occasions. Michael also explained to this female witness that he could not stand Austin and Jessica. He asked them to leave. They refused to leave. They owe him $1,500 plus back pay and rent, and they would steal cars, bring the stolen cars to his property, and he didn't want that criminal activity around him. He complained about Austin and Jessica to what seems to be everyone. This witness also told police that a few days after the 9th, she went to Michael's to do what she does, and he had large trash bags in the back of his truck, and the trash bags had a foul odor to them. It didn't smell like rotten trash. It didn't smell like anything she's ever smelled before. It was the worst smell she has ever smelled, because it was that of decomposing bodies. Police at this point finally get a warrant. They go to Michael's house to search the place, and in the process of searching their place, they go into the couple's room where Jessica and Austin had been staying, and they see blood, bullet holes in the wall and in some of the furniture, and the room also had a fresh coat of paint. Michael's taken in for questioning. They ask him, hey, can you explain to us the bullet holes in that bedroom and the blood on the walls? He said, well, I don't know about the blood, and I don't know about the bullet holes, but Jessica cut herself and she must have managed to get the blood in there. But he had no bullshit excuse for why there was bullet holes all over their bedroom. Michael was immediately arrested after questioning. He was arrested and charged with 2 counts of second-degree murder, and his bail was set for $5 million. Now I guess I'm a little confused, because I don't see how he only got 2 counts of second-degree murder, because I know second-degree murder isn't as bad as first-degree murder. But if all evidence points to Michael, why did he only get second-degree murder and not 2 counts of first-degree murder? I tried to research this question because I feel like it's a valid one. I couldn't find any answers answers. So if any of you guys have answers, please feel free to comment below, because I don't understand. I feel like every true crime case I'm reading, I'm getting a little bit more and more confused about how this sentencing works, because I don't see how he didn't get charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. In Michael's charging documents, it was stated by police that they believed, and so did the medical examiner, that more than one person was involved in the murder of Jessica and Austin. I will put a freeze frame of what those documents said right here. Dr. Kathy Taylor, who was the medical examiner that performed the autopsies, firmly believes that Michael did not act alone, that other people helped him. And the reason she thinks that is because on their dismembered bodies, the cuts on their bodies were from different weapons and different techniques were used. You can tell that every cut and or slash was not made by the same person. Now the question is, who helped Michael? Did he have friends that didn't like Austin and Jessica, or friends that owed him a favor? Or did he talk to these gang members and said, hey, listen, you can come into my house and you can take them out because I don't even want them to live here anymore? But if a medical examiner believes that he did not act alone, I'm almost certain he probably didn't act alone. The question is, will he ever say who helped him, or is he gonna go down for this crime all by himself? Michael has a criminal record. He's not a good dude. He's been arrested for concealed weapons. He's been arrested for stealing cars. He's had multiple DUIs. And the most gnarly part is that he has a history of sexual abuse and incest. His own daughter filed a sexual assault restraining order against him in June of 2018. In this report, his daughter claims that Michael started molesting her at the age of 10 for nearly a decade. From the age of 10 until 18, he would drug her and he would rape her. His own daughter. His own daughter. He started sleeping in the same bed as his daughter at the age of 10. He would force her to watch him masturbate as he watched porn. He ruined her life. And how he wasn't in jail prior to this is beyond me. And I wonder where the mother was to protect her daughter from this, and why she didn't get this mother in jail earlier. I couldn't find any of that information online. His daughter also put in the police report that he would oftentimes take out his gun and threaten to use it. Intimidation tactics. I don't know if I'm saying this woman's name correctly, but Meryl's Gordon, I think that's how you say it, Michael's ex-girlfriend, tells police that she can't comprehend Michael doing something like this, and it's beyond her. She also then tells police that Michael had a temper, he was aggressive, violent, and actually previously got arrested for abusing her. So I'm a little confused. How does she not comprehend that a man who was okay beating the shit out of her was capable of harming others? Because if he supposedly loves you, imagine what he's capable of doing to people he doesn't love. So yes, he had all the capability of performing the crime that he is accused of. Also, all this makes me want to do a thorough background check on anyone I date, because I find it hard to believe that any woman that could look into Michael's background and see that he has a report filed against him by his own daughter for sexually abusing her would date him. I have to believe that no woman, unless that woman is completely up, would date a man who sexually abused his daughter if they knew that that is in fact what he has done. So yeah, I'm like, shit, any guy I date in the future, can I get a full background check? Because like, some questions need to be answered, I feel, for this case to make a little bit more sense. Okay, we all know that Michael couldn't stand Jessica and Austin and wanted them to move out, and they didn't move out. But then he would trap them and lock them in the house so they wouldn't leave. Lock up their car so they wouldn't leave. So which one is it? You want them to move out, or you want them to never leave? That entire part of the story is confusing. He would complain to people that Austin was a criminal and would bring stolen cars to his home, and he didn't want that criminal activity. But Michael himself has been arrested and has a criminal record for in fact stealing cars. So you're mad at a tenant for doing exactly what you've done in the past? So that's confusing. What's also confusing is the medical examiner said that Austin and Jessica were beaten before they were shot. If Michael simply just wanted them to get the out, kill them, and get rid of their bodies. He could have just shot them. But the fact that they were both beaten very badly before they were shot, it makes it seem like it's a little bit more personal. Like someone wanted to beat the shit out of them because they wanted to torture them or prolong their death. It seems less of just a quick and easy, I'm killing you, adios, good night. It seems more of planned, emotional. I could be wrong. Another question is, why was Austin only shot once, but Jessica was shot multiple times? Why weren't they both just shot one time? So there's a lot of holes in the story that confuse me. I feel like it could go either way. I think maybe it could have been a gang hit, but then it could have also been Michael, because I feel like Michael would deny it. I couldn't read anything on how Michael was reacting to being arrested. I couldn't find if he admitted to the crimes, if he's pleading not guilty. I couldn't find any of that anywhere online. There has been no trial. There isn't an update. So at this point, all we have is the story. Now we just gotta wait for the results. And it'll be interesting to see how all this plays out. Will Michael go to jail for committing both of these crimes on his own? But if it is gang related, I'm sure Michael is going to shut the fuck up and take full accountability, because nobody wants to go to jail snitching on a gang. So well, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. I feel like when people get involved in gangs, it's a dangerous life choice, because I think we all know, even when we're not involved, what type of lifestyle that is. It's a scary one. So we'll just have to wait to see how all this evidence plays out in court and what ends up happening. If more people get charged, I don't know. I have no idea what's gonna happen. All I know is what I've read online, and surprisingly, there's really not that much online. But I have the feeling that Michael has killed before and has gotten away with it. He has all the characteristics of a serial killer. And if it weren't for these random teenagers being bored and getting on the Rando Nautica app, there's a good possibility that maybe Michael and whoever committed these murders with him would have gotten away with it. So again, I'm thinking, is this Rando Nautica app really random? Or because our technology knows everything about us and where we go and what we're doing, maybe this app knew. I don't know, guys. Artificial intelligence is so weird to me, but I just find it so weird that an app brought these teenagers to an exact location of where a body washed ashore. Like, what are the odds of that? But if it weren't for that app and those kids using that app, their bodies may have never been found, and Michael would probably be killing another one of his tenants. So essentially, that app, no matter how creepy it is and unexplainable it is, saved the day. That's it, guys. That is tonight's true crime story. When there's an update, I'll do an update video, but that's what I got right now. Give this video a thumbs up or a thumbs down, but as I always say, if you're giving it a thumbs down, you probably shouldn't be on this channel. But if you are gonna be here, make sure you hit that subscribe button, but also hit the bell, because if you don't hit the bell, you will not get notifications, and if you don't get notifications, what is the point? There is none. Most importantly, hit the link at the top of the description box to subscribe to our Wave channel, me and my twin sisters, for more exclusive content, vlogs, story times, you name it, all on our Wave channel. All my social media is also below, and I love you guys to the moon and back. This is a crazy world we're living in. You don't know anyone, especially people you're living with. And this Rando Nautica app, I'm really interested about it. I want to hear more stories about it. So if you guys have any links to videos about it or articles about it, email them to me. I want to read into it. I find it fascinating. I would never download it because it also petrifies the shit out of me, but I'm curious to hear other people's stories about it, because what the... Anyways, love you guys. Bye.